So here's a fun project. I got a 55-gallon food grade container. I got to take the tops off of it. I don't have a special tool for it. They do make one. And then I've got to somehow fit this spigot into the bottom of it. There's no real special tools required to open these. I use 3 standard screwdrivers, put them opposite one another on the tops, and then I take the 3rd screwdriver and we're spinning counterclockwise. We're loosening it, so you just put it in there and start turning. They do make a special tool for this, but you don't really need that tool. Just use some old standard screwdrivers for that. Now, fitting this in is going to be interesting, and it's actually pretty straightforward once you see the trick to doing it. The way I do it seems to work well. There may be better ways to do it, but this is the way that works for me. So let me pop this one open, and then we'll get started. So you actually only need one side open to make this happen. But I'm going to pop both of these open because I need these open to put water into it. So there we go. Let's open these up, set them aside. All right. So these spigots are available on Amazon. I'll put a link to them in the description. Here's what has to happen. This always throws me. These are reverse threaded. So this has to end up in the bottom of the container sticking out. Somehow you got to maneuver that in and get it out the hole that you put in there. So first question is, what size hole do you put in there? By the way, let's back up for a second. This has to go in the hole that you put in there. This nut goes on the outside of it. This washer stays on the inside of it to seal the hole up. Once you have that sticking out, you take the spigot part and you screw that in, and that screws in the way that you expect, like so. So how do we get this into there, sticking out the hole? Well, my hand doesn't reach down there that far, so we got to figure out how to do that. Actually, again, it's pretty straightforward. So, first of all, we need to know what size hole are we going to put in here. For that, I use a micrometer to figure that out. This is the part that has to stick out the hole. This is a cheap digital caliper I bought at Harbor Freight. I think it was $3. It is not the most accurate in the world, but for what we're doing, it's pretty darn accurate. So, what size is this? What size hole do I need? Well, it's got to go all the way over these threads, so it's not going to be inside the threads. Let's figure that out, and it looks like exactly 1.5 inches. Perfect. So check if you order these and you get them on Amazon, make sure that you check the size of them. I don't know if they're all the same, but these ones are 1.5 inches. Now it's measuring 1.48, 1.49, 1.5 inch and a half will work. So we need to use a hole saw to drill this hole. This is a hole saw kit that I have. I've had this for several years, worth its weight in gold, and I use this for drilling holes and doors and what have you when I have to install a door. The markings, if there were some, are all worn off on here, but I happen to know on the back that you have an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, so that's the first fitting on here, second fitting and third, and the third fitting is this hole saw right here, and it fits perfectly. You know what, just to be certain, now that it's installed, I want to measure it, and 1.46 inches, that's the inch and a half hole. Set these aside. You can set up where you put the hole in respect to the holes on the top if you like, if that's important to you. For me, it's not really that critical. I usually put the center of the hole about 3 inches up from the bottom. 2.5 would be plenty. That's, yeah, I'm gonna go 3 inches actually. I'm just gonna put a little mark there where I want the hole to go. Hold on tightly and drill the hole. Make sure you got your hole saw chucked up nice and tight. There we go. All right, so hold on tightly, drill the hole. So one important thing here is I don't get the hole saw going super fast in case it grabs onto something. The other thing is let the saw do the work. Don't try to jam it in and push it through the hole. Just let it get some speed and let the hole saw do the work. All right, done. So these are nice and thick, these food grade containers, and that's a perfectly drilled hole there. Let's put this drill away. Always a good idea to test fit. Finding out after you've dropped this down into the barrel is not a good idea to find out that it doesn't fit. So this is going to fit perfectly, and I can see it's going to seal correctly when I put that in there. So now for the magic part. How do we get this inside the barrel sticking out that way? All right, so this is how this is done. Find yourself a long length of string, and on that string you're going to install something heavy and preferably metal. Make sure that it fits through the hole, and what you're going to do is just tie that off like so. And you want to make sure that it's tied well so that it doesn't come off inside the barrel. Now, I know that I want this nut to come out the bottom and go out like that, so I'm going to string it like so. And I want to make sure that it doesn't come off the bottom. Now, I know this is plenty long. I know it's not going to come out the hole, but just for some insurance, I usually tie something on the end of it so that the string will fall down in there, just in the off chance that let go of it or something bad happens. I'm going to hang on to the nut and set the spigot over there. So this is what we're looking at. That's going into the barrel like so, and that barely fits in. There we go. And then we're going to fish that out the bottom. See? I think I got it. I got my hands on it. All right, and there. Perfect. So that's sticking out, ready to go. Now, what you want to do is take this end off, this end, and pull the string out. But you really want to hang on to that end and have that nut ready. And remember that nut is reverse threaded. So take this out. So I'm going to leave the string on it just for insurance. It doesn't matter really. It doesn't really matter which direction these go on. Put that on. And get your finger in there holding it tight. Remember, these are reverse threaded. Now, if you're really worried about sealing it up, on that inner gasket, you can put a little RTV in there, some silicone. My experience has been that these seal up just fine. There it is. You could tighten that with a channel lock if you want, but also in my experience, I found that just hand tight is plenty, and they don't leak any fluid once you get them in there. And there it is, it's done. Pull the string back out, put the spigot in. Now, another thing about getting that hand tight is you can use that to control where the top of the spigot is. So this gets put in like so. And you'll notice that actually is just about perfect. Swing that around a little bit if you want. It doesn't really matter. That's fully open, and then that's closed. You can put it on its side if you like, or you can put it on top. It doesn't make a difference in the way that this works. So I could turn that, tighten it a little more if I wanted, and there you go. So closed and open. Done. All right, thanks for watching. Please give me a like, a subscribe. If you got any questions or you know a better way to do this, comment would be awesome. If you like what you saw, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.